What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have quite interesting and weird news. I have to admit that I'm a bit confused with the latest update, and in today's video I will show you what I'm talking about. And this news is related to the recent class action settlement, and I told you about this just on my yesterday's video. And at the end of this video I will show you again even more evidence of share imbalance on one of the broker dealers. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. So let's start with the news itself. On my yesterday's video, I showed you this tweet that was written by Junk Savvy, and she wrote, Levy and Korsinski LLP announces proposed class action settlement on behalf of purchasers of metamaterials and Torchlight Energies, details below. And she added this: how does this affect holders of MMTLP before and after June 24, 2022? And on my yesterday's video I showed you this tweet that was made by Richard Hoffman, and you know that Richard has quite substantial experience in this type of litigations, and he said, settled both cases in mediation, likely resolved so that insurers who paid 95% of agreed sum would not spend millions extra in defense costs. Class limited in time through 2021. In my opinion, not legal advice. Little or no impact on MMTLP. So, it is quite understandable conclusion, but then, while I was preparing to this video, I found this tweet that was written by another headliner and another person with a huge experience in litigations. Mark Basile wrote this tweet just several hours ago, and he said, MMTLP, I wonder how many misfit minions are already part of the class action lawsuit that settled for $0.015 per share. If they were TRCH holders or purchased MMTLP shares prior to June 24, 2022, they are included automatically in that class action. Come on, raise your hands. Which minion is part of that class? So guys, it is quite confusing, and then I found out this tweet about the settlement price. So 17 hours ago he added a 15 cents a share estimated settlement, and then he made a correction that not 15 cents but penny and a half, and he added the screenshot of the settlement itself, and settlement fund was only $3 million in cash, and for every shareholder of common stock, it will be about $0.015 per share. So, it is a ridiculous number, but it is what it is. And guys, what to expect next and why our headliners have quite opposite opinions? Let me show you this tweet that was written again by Mark Basile just hours before he made this statement, this one. So, he said, MMTLP, TBLF law firm represents several interested shareholders that hold metamaterials and MMTLP, as well as all TRCH securities, and we have been asked by some of our clients to look into the proposed class action settlement to see if it meets the standards necessary for federal court to approve the settlement. Without more information, we cannot determine if and how such a settlement will affect the holders of MMTLP securities, what the per-class participant will receive by way of compensation, and whether such a settlement is fair. Stay tuned. And this statement raises another question, and this question was perfectly asked by the free market is a lie, and his Twitter account is BurnShorts123, and he wrote, I thought you weren't interested in a class action lawsuit. And Mark responded, yeah, that's exactly right, we didn't bring it, someone else did. So this is a good statement, it is not his class action lawsuit. So you can sit back, not do anything legally, just like the minions wanted everyone to. Or you can find out if that class action affects your rights as a holder of MMTLP. My clients want to find out how this affects them. You just can't say, well, it's not MMTLP, so it doesn't affect it. Wrong. MMTLP was derived from TRCH holdings. Wouldn't everyone want to know, if they don't opt out of the class action, whether such a class action may bar any future recovery? It's possible. So, again, quite scary statement. It might affect all MMTLP shareholders. And at that time, Glass Guy answered this question. I thought you said that a subpoena was coming. You were asked to assist in wording. I'm having trust issues with your words. You also told me class action was not possible after December the 8th, 2023. And I remember this statement, and it was a deadline where the class action should be filed in order to be legitimate and in order to stay in line with laws. And Mark responded this just 4 hours ago. I was asked for wording and provided it. Whether they choose to use it or not, it's not in my power. And the class action was filed a long time ago, way before December the 8th, 2023. But keep your trust issues, may come in handy. And he added this, I will be issuing my own subpoena soon enough, that I have control over. And this statement is quite promising. As you can see, it was filed basically at 5 a.m. It is European time on February 29, basically just less than 4 hours ago. And I think he's talking about his upcoming lawsuit, the major lawsuit, and I covered it in my yesterday's video. He published a tweet, I guess, on January 21st, 2024. And this lawsuit might include this subpoena. And guys, I'm not so familiar with all the details how this stuff works, but I basically everything that I can do is to give this information to you and to make my conclusions. And as far as I understand, we still have several lawsuits on the table. We have another potential lawsuit that will be filed by Mark Basile's law firm. And this lawsuit will include the subpoena. What type of subpoena it will be, I don't know. On top of that, we still ask Congress members for subpoena. And definitely it might also be a path to solution. And guys, on top of all this information, we have to spread the entire saga. We have to spread this news to as many people as we can. And one of our allies is Dennis Neal, who is hosting a What's Bugging Me podcast. And as you can see, Richard said thanks for your support to Dennis Neal because of this tweet. And Dennis wrote, this just in, as we speak, I am laying down episode 67 of What's Bugging Me on Ricochet, featuring an interview with Anna Drates and her outreach to Congress. Gonna be rewriting. And yes, I think this episode will be very interesting because you know that Anna is another our headliner, and she wrote this. Thank you, Dennis Neal, for reporting on this frozen crime scene and allowing me to share my experience. And guys, her experience is huge. She was the first person who met Gary Gensler back in April of 2023, and she asked him these questions, and on her Twitter account you can find these pictures where she asked directly Gary Gensler about the MMTLP issue, and this was the first time when he didn't answer. And I have to admit that right after that she had a lot of meetings with Congress members, and her involvement in the letter of Ralph Norman's office is huge. That is why I think she knows a lot and she can give us a lot of information, a lot of useful information that in general will lead to involvement of more people in our case, and eventually it will help us to win this battle. On top of that, let me show you another quite important news. Dr. E wrote this 5 hours ago. When the staffer responds, use this link to book a Zoom for fees. And he's talking about Don Fees, and Don Fees had a lot of meetings. He had up to 8 meetings a day at the very end of January of this year and on the beginning of February. And he made a lot of meetings with Congress members. You can find the pictures of Let me show you of his trip back in the beginning of February. Here you can see these pictures. And yes, I think his involvement in our case is huge, and his help is really mind-boggling. That is why if you have an answer from your Congress members, feel free to book a meeting with Don Fis using this link on Dr. E Twitter account. On top of that, guys, Dr. E wrote this 5 hours ago. The security was U3 halted by FINRA on December 9, 2022, most likely to protect the brokers from reconciling oversold positions in the security. 15 months later, we now know there is indeed an imbalance. Only how big is the question. And you know, and I told you this in my yesterday's video, that for now we have at least 4 broker-dealers who have this imbalance. One of them is TradeStation, and they admitted it by themselves. Next one is a trade, and we found a lot of evidence of this. Other broker-dealers are Ally and Fidelity. And on my yesterday's video, I told you about Interactive Brokers, who also potentially has this imbalance. And right now, let me show you this tweet. It is another evidence of E-Trade issue, and JCroc149 wrote this. MMTLP, breaking news. E-Trade confirms that MMTLP shares are not DRS eligible and are now charging $500 to transfer to Equinity AST. Paper certificate request will also cost $500. Interesting. And he added these 2 screenshots with the conversation with Anthony N, who is the representative of E-Trade. And guys, $500 is a stonewalling fee that will not allow the majority of minor shareholders to transfer their shares, because it becomes worthless if the settlement will not be in thousands of dollars for each share. And I think it is another pure evidence of imbalance on their books, and we have to push this case forward in order to resolve this issue. And to do it, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and drop me a line in the comment section for whatever reasons you want. So, I think that's all, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.